Welcome back. So I know I took a bit of a break, but we're back. I'm going to hit it hard again. And today we're jumping back into JavaScript basics with if statements. So welcome to Coding with Carla. Okay, so what is an if statement? It's basically just having a conversation with your code. You're saying, if this is true, then do this. Otherwise, do that. And that's the gist of what an if statement is. So I'm here in CodePen. Let's just take a quick look at a few examples of an if statement. So we'll start with just standard. So we'll go if. Oh, well, actually, let me point out, I have a variable called rain. It's set to the Boolean true. So it's raining according to our let statement. So now we'll just say if, rain is true, then we'll console log. Actually, let me change the settings real quick here. I don't want this running every time we change something. We want to run it on our own. There we go. So console log, you're going to get soaked. But if it's not raining, we'll say else, console log, live for today, have fun. Okay, that's it. We have an if statement. We're saying if it's raining, tell us that we're going to get soaked. Otherwise, tell us to live for the day. So let's run this, and I've got the console open. There it is, where it's telling us we're going to get soaked. If I change this variable to false, and save that, now it's telling us to live for the day and have fun. And that's the gist of an if statement. That's an if, else. You really don't have to have the else. So if I just comment that out, close this off here, put that back to true, it's still going to tell us that we're going to get soaked. So the else is optional. You don't have to have it. But typically, if something's not going to happen, you want something else to happen. So if statements have the else typically. You also have the option of an else if statement. So else if rain equals, let's change this up just a smidge. So we'll say if rain equals sleet, we'll say this one's hail, and this one is sleet. We'll say watch the roads. Oh, you know what we need to do? If we're going to change this from a Boolean to a string, we need to make sure that that string is in quotes. So I'm actually going to change this to rain. So if it's rain, you're going to get soaked. If rain equals sleet, watch the roads. Else, console.log. No matter what, watch the forecast. So what's this going to say? Got rain equal to sleet. The first if statement is rain, so we know that's not going to happen. But the second one is sleet, which we do need to put into quotes because we have to change it into a string. So now if I hit save and I'll clear this out so we have a fresh one and run, now it's telling us to watch the roads because we've got the second if statement equals to true because rain does equal to sleet. And this one is false and this one is false. Okay, so now let's look at another example here. I'm going to just comment this out. And we're just going to look at a ternary conditional statement. So let's just go back. Actually, let me undo all of this so that it was our original if else. So here's our if else statement. It ran to true, so it's going to tell us that we're going to get soaked. So we can actually do this in a lot less code. So you see here we've got 7 lines, and even if I shrink this up a little bit, brought that up, and I'll bring that up. So we've got 5 lines of code here. So I can actually write console log rain. Oh, we need our variable. So we've got 4 lines of code. We'll stick with that. So rain if it's raining, if rain's true, you're going to get soaked. Else, live for today and have fun. So you can see we have 1 line versus the 4 lines. Now if I save this and run it, we still get the same thing, but with 1 line of code. So ternary conditional statements are amazing because they save you lines and lines of code, which means in the long run, the more code you write, the less likely you are to make a mistake. And so I'm going to do one more example here, and I'm going to do an if statement and a function, just so you can see it. And I'll still use the ternary conditional. So I'm going to say function, and I'm going out. But what's the weather? So that's our function. So I'm going to return the weather, which is our argument. If it does equal rain, then you're going to get soaked. Otherwise, live for today and have fun. So we've got a function based on the weather. So now let's just set a quick variable here. Use let. And we'll say good time, because our good time is based on the weather, right? And now let's actually make an argument for our parameter of weather. And we're going to call it rain. That's wrong. Sorry. Going out. So console.log our variable. All right, let's just take a quick look at what we did here. I'm going to comment this out because we don't need it. And I'm going to comment this variable out because we don't need it. So we built a function, a going out function, and we've got weather as the parameter. And we're saying return the weather. If it's rain, you're going to get soaked. Else, live for today and have fun. So now I have a variable called good time We can tell it what the weather is. So it's rain. So if we did everything correct, it should still tell us we're going to get soaked. Now let's just change it to sun. Save and run it again. There you go. Live for today and have fun. So there's a lot of great ways that you can use these if statements. And all we're doing is just having a simple conversation. If it's raining, we're going to get soaked. Otherwise, let's go have fun. If statements are a pretty simple theory. If this happens, do this. Otherwise, do this. Next week, we're going to check out for loops, and we'll actually incorporate some if statements into those loops. So I can't wait to see you next week on Coding with Carla.